So hello everyone. So this is a video that is related to the forms and using CSS to apply styles on the form. So let me show you what we are going to do. So we'll just try to create something like this, a form like this, which is awfully bad. Like again, you can see that it has got certain elements, and if I just do something like that, it says first name, last name, there's a text box there. There's an email text box, there's a date text box, and there is something called a position applied or position. So it's a job application form in one way or other. And we will just, in this video, first we'll just try to create this form by using the HTML. And then, since it looks very bad, we'll try to just, apply styles to it, and we'll try to make it something like this by using the CSS styles. So you can see here, this is something that we will be creating as a form. And this is something in which we'll be just converting it to. So rather it's also not that beautiful, but again, it will give a very good sense of what are the different options that you can use in CSS to make your forms more and more beautiful. So let's just start doing it. So again, right now, what we are considering is that we don't have anything at all with us. And we will be I'm just closing this out, and we'll just keep it open. Or maybe I can open that as well, because I want to have that in front of me as well. Sometimes I will be needing a few things to find out. So this will be so these are the two things that we have to do. So for that, I'll be just creating two new files, index.html. I have opened up my Visual Studio Code, of course, and then I will just, open up my another file I'll create, and that file will be for style.css, CSS style sheet that we'll be using. So in index.html, first of all, I will just create an HTML5 document. You know that how we can create that, pressing up a tab and giving up a value. It's forms. We'll be just working on forms. So now here we have to create the form. So first of all, let me just again have a look at it. So this is the form that we can see. It has got certain, it has got some label, it has got some labels, it has got some text boxes, it has got a text area, something. There are different buttons that it has. So we'll be talking about all these buttons and all these things. Right. So to create this one, first of all, what we are going to do in our body tag is that we'll be just creating a form. And let's write the text which was there. First, make an H2 forms and CSS. Right. So I want to run it, and I hope you know by this point. But if you don't know, I can just explain you what we have to do. First, we need to just run that one, and we run like npm slide server command, and this command will run our server, and then this document will be running for us. So, so first of all, what I'm doing is that I've just placed this H2, and I've just given forms and CSS over here, and I want it to just, show me. So we will be just, trying to develop all those things. So now, if you see that we have got something called like a form tag, if you are familiar with that, and if you talk about the action. So action is necessarily the thing that you want to do with your form when the user submits it, when the user submits that form data. So this basically refers to, like, for example, I'm just considering that it's a page that will be sending my data to the form, like a data page, and I'm placing method as post. So you might know that this method is equal to post and get. There are two methods for sending the data usually. And we can talk about this somewhere else, and hopefully we have already, I'm understanding that you are familiar with these post and get methods. So now in this form, we'll be just trying to do what we have to. If you see that we have to create something like this first name and this one. And so let me tell you that why we create label. I will just first create a label, and I will call this label as first name. Label 4 is equal to first name, and I'm just placing first name. So why we create that? So we want to make our effective area of our input box to a level that if someone clicks on the first name, the label, the focus should be shifted to the first name text box or something like that. I'll just let you know after I'll be done. So first of all, I've created a label, and label for is equal to first name. So you have to keep in mind that this first name should match with the ID of the input box that is to be followed by this one. What do I mean? I will create an input. So you know the input is basically what? Input type is equal to text, which is coming automatically, and I can just leave it right now. Input type is equal to text. I want to create what? A type of a text box where user can enter something. So when I'll be just giving it to the ID, I'll just take very good care of this, that it should be equal to the same. It has to be the same as the label for. Why? I want to attach this label with this text box. And what does specifically means? I'll just let you know. I'll just save this form. Right now we should have only one this, like, you know, control over here with the label. So if you see here that we have got a text box and we have got a label over here. Now the interesting part is that if I click on this one, the focus gets set on my input box. And if I just refresh it and I just again go and I click on this label, you see that label is also giving me this like set focus on my form. So what is happening on my control box, control field? So now it means that this label is providing us this facility that now we have got effective area for this text box up till this point. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So we are just increasing the size of that, or maybe you can say that the effective area of that one. So I'm giving this ID, and I can also give a name. And I hope you know that what is the difference between this name and ID. This ID is used for accessing this element, this input element, for our CSS or for JavaScript, and this name is used for accessing the value of the form field on the other page. When we send our data to the other page, this name recognizes that what type of data we want to, like what specific control has been sent with what data. So first name will recognize this input box on the next page, right? So I hope that makes sense, and I'll just, you know. Now there are certain other properties that I want to set. So if you see here, if I save it again and my server is running, let me just show you. When my page starts, it's not, the focus is not automatically set on this text box. I want, whenever this this page starts, my focus should be automatically set up on this one, right? This text box. So now for that, what I will do is that I will do autofocus. Now you see the difference. If I just do that autofocus, and if I go here, if I just refresh it, you see that my cursor is also already auto-focused on my text box, right? And then there is another feature that we can implement, and that is autocomplete. Now, autocomplete is one of the features that HTML provides us, HTML5, and this autocomplete equal to, when you see that there are different options that we can use, so it helps you when you are just filling that out. It helps you to just fill in that data, and sometimes so you can just provide any value with it. So autocomplete always helps what to give the IntelliSense type of information to the user. So I can select given name over here because I want users to select or do names there. Another property is placeholder. If you are familiar with that, placeholder, enter your name here. And what is that? If I show you my form that I want to implement, okay, so that has been stopped. My server has stopped. I will just read on that one. So I'll just show you shortly. So what it effectively does is that it basically provides us the text inside that input box. So input box will come with inherently with some text. So the text is basically this placeholder text that we provide to it. Okay, so this is the form that is running, and let me see that it is running on 30, because I'm running two servers now. It's running in 3002. So I'll run that. Okay, so this was the form that we had. And let me just run that one as well, the final output, because we'll be just looking at that output as well. So now this is something that we want to just achieve. So what I want to achieve is that it has to have something inside that. You see, enter your first name here. I just mentioned enter your name here. So what I'll do is that I'll do enter your first name here, for example. So this placeholder text, placeholder will be appearing in that, in that text box automatically to give user a hint what they have to enter over here. And another thing that I can do is max length. I can set up its max length to maybe 30. I don't want names to be more than 30, but again, keep in mind that if you are doing that, it means that if a user has more than 30 names, like 30 characters in their name, they won't be able to use them. So just keep in mind. Another very important thing is tab index. I hope you are familiar with tab index. If you are not, tab index is again when user is not using the mouse, rather they are using the keyboard. So what should be the index of this tab? When I press tab, 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 where should my user go? So again, it's automatically focused, auto focused. It has got placeholder. It has got the name entry, and you see that it will just try to provide me the reference of the name if I want to provide the name, and as well as its tab index has been set to 1. Like again, if the tab index is some sequence, it will just come up with the name. So this is our very much our first one, and now we have to create another label. So for that, for what? We have to create the other label for this last name, right? So let's create that label first of all, label, and I will be calling it last dash name. And remember that I will just write here last name. And remember that I have to make my input box input type, and I have to define its ID as what? Equal to last dash name, because I want to connect it to my and then as I said, name is equal to last name. I hope you remember now that now we can, so they can be different. So I'm just giving intentionally, I'm just giving this a different name, last dash, not last dash name, last name here also first name. Why? Because these name can be different. Why? Because this name has nothing to do with CSS and HTML. Rather, this name is used for when you submit your data to the other page. So we are not submitting that data right now. We are only concerned with this ID right now, because ID has to be same as the labels one, right? And then what we can do is that all the same features that we have used, type is equal to text, we are still, so we don't want it to autofocus. Why? Because we want autofocus only on my first name. So autocomplete, maybe family name, like again, the surname I'm talking about. And what else you can see? Placeholder text. You remember we can set a placeholder. So enter your last name here, maybe, right? And then we can use this max length again. And keep in mind that max length only should be used if you are familiar, if you are confirmed. Now the last thing, tab index. This is interesting, and we'll see the tab index effect now. So tab index equal to 2. Now if I save this one and if I check my program again, so you see that we have got 2, and this one is the autofocus. And if I press tab on my keyboard, I'm not pressing mouse, I'm pressing tab on my keyboard. So you see that the one first is it's selected, the first name, and when I press tab, the tab index goes to. So we can just set up this tab index to access different different values and different controls in their sequence. So this is the purpose of the tab index, right? So I hope it will be making more sense now to you people what is tab index doing. Okay, so now let's talk about the third one, the email one, which is what is our third one? If you go here, so third one is the email one, and then we have date. So I'll just create a label for email, and I'll select email, right? And I will write email here. Let's make an input box. So type is equal text. Now here intentionally I'm removing this type is equal text. Why? Because I'll just let you know what I'm doing. So first of all, let's set up the ID so that again its effective area is basically connected to its label. Now the other thing that I want to do is autocomplete. You remember we have talked about autocomplete equal to this will be email. So it will just help out the user that what type of data they are entering over here. So placeholder. Now I want to set this placeholder to be enter your email, valid email, right? So whatever. And then we can set. You can see we are not setting max length because email might be of the greater length. So what we are doing is that setting the tab index equal to, so in sequence it will be 3 now, right? And now the type. So which usually comes over here. So I will just write it over here. Type is equal to, now HTML5 provides us the type of email. So it's basically the basic validation it will be doing all by itself. So we don't need to worry about that basic the validations, because we will be just using this email, so it will be just taking that as an email input box. So this is a good feature of input box, that we don't need to don't need to worry about that much about that. So we have got this email. Now here you see that it is just giving me reference of those emails whenever I'm just accessing. All right, so if you talk about now, we have got the next one. What is the next one? The next one is date, and date is very interesting, and I'll just let you know that why date is interesting. So same goes for the date. That quickly I'll be making first the label for that, and this will be date, because I want to user to enter the date where they are filling out the form, and then I will be using input. And again, I'm just removing this type visible text. First of all, I'll just set up the ID equal to date, and then I will say, for example, name. I forgot the name of the previous one. Email. I will just do that. But again, since we are not sending this data, so we should not be that much worried about it. But anyhow, I'll be using that name over here. Okay, so then what you need to do is that you have set up the name, the date, and the type is equal to. So type, as I said, I'll be just placing it after the ID. So type equal to. So it provides us the date type. So what is the benefit of using this date type? Let me just first complete that, and then I'll let you know. And the last thing is tab index. You can set up tab index equal to 4 in sequence, because we have just done the last one 3. The tab index is equal to 4. So now you see what is the benefit of using this date. If you see here that now we have got this form, and now we have got this date format over here and this little calendar over here. So it means that user will never ever be filling out the wrong information, and they have this calendar feature over here. They will be just using the calendar and entering their date or whatever they want. They just want, right? So that's a very good hint. And how it is coming? It is coming by name is equal to date. Type is equal to date. I'm sorry. Type is equal to date. So type will be providing us this date. And so this is something that we have to do. Okay, so the next thing, let's talk about this. Email date is done. Position. Let me tell you what position is doing. If you just go inside that, and I have just double click or just clicked on it, so you see that it's providing us the list. So it's applying for the position IT technician, HR manager, anything. So it is a list that has been provided. So I want to do that, but first let's create this text box and a label for that. And I will be calling this label for position, the position for which user is applying to the position. And let me just write down position applying for. Right. So input and type is equal to text. I will just leave its type is equal to text over here. But first, let me just make it an ID. And again, by this time, you would recognize that ID is very important, because we want to connect it with its label, right? And so type is equal to text, and let's set up the tab index also equal to 5 in sequence. I think it's 4. Yes, 5. Now another interesting thing. What do you want to do here? If you see here that, as I said, that you have got a list over here which comes, and I can select out of those anyone from them. If I say I, it will just give me all those options, all those interesting options. So I want to provide it in a list, for example. So to provide a list, we can do another thing here, that we will create a data list here, right? And I'm calling this data list as positions, right? Close the text sign. So data list is creating. So now I'll create this data list, and the first, for example, I say option value is equal to IT technician, as I have given over there. IT technician, and let me just copy and paste maybe 3-4 times so that we can see all the. So I just paste 4 times, and let me just see that. Just change our HR. Manager, and whatever. So now we have created a data list, and we have to connect this list with our this label position. So now it's very easy to connect this list. If you just press an enter and come here and write down list. So HTML5 is providing us this facility. So now if I write positions, what is the name of our list? It's positions. So if I give it that, save this one, and let's run this again. And if you see here that when I go here, you find that this is something, a drop down type of menu that is showing me the information. So user cannot make a mistake over there now. So this spellings, these will be coming from a list, and then I can use this list when I'll be entering a data. I'll be having all those information. So I hope you can just make sense of it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to create here is the text area, which is coming in the sequence. If I just drag it, so you see that it's coming in the. So this is called the text area, where I want multiple columns, multiple text columns to appear. So for that, we create text area. So if I just do that, so it's asking for the name, and I'm saying, for example, research statement or something like that. And the ID, if you want to give an ID, you can say research. We have not given any, right, anything over there. So it says columns. How many columns do you want? Maybe 30 or no. So you know what these columns and rows are, that it will just provide us that much, place for that. So we have to set the tab index. Our last tab index was 5. So now this will be 6. And let's place a placeholder over here. Placeholder equal to enter your research statement, yeah, whatever. Right. So we have created this one. So let's see, and let's go and check whether it's working fine or not. Yes, now we have got this one. Enter your research statement here, and we can see that it is also showing the statement over there. Right. Okay, so what is after that? Let me check that. After that is basically, if you see, let me just drag it. So there is an upload resume option. So there is a browse button, and we need to select a file, and then it will just allow us to upload resume. So now to upload something, we have got another interesting attribute, a feature of input box. And let's first create a label for the input, and we will say upload resume or upload, right? Upload resume. Now here I'll just give input type, and I don't want to give it a text now. Rather, I will say upload. Sorry, file, not upload. Input type is equal to file. So file is basically what? That will give us the information, like, that will give us that environment where there's a button, and I can upload a file. So let me give it an ID, and what ID I should give it? I hope you are good in it. And we can give it a name for the data purposes, for file purposes, that we want to give it a name. And then tab index will set up to 7. This is for the keyboards, and again, that we want to check. We want to do that for all modalities. Like, if someone is a keyboard, if someone is a mouse, like not keyboard and only mouse, so everyone should be equally able to access that one, right? So now there is another important attribute, interesting attribute of this file. Input type is equal to file, and what is that? We can give a list of documents, a list of extensions that we want to accept here. So for example, if I say doc, comma, docx, comma, and there is another one, application /PDF. So you can just Google that, and there are lots of options it has. So what is the benefit of doing that? So now let's first of all see that how it's being shown. Now it's showing upload resume, and the choose file but option is coming. And if I click on that one, you see that the option that I'm getting is that I will only see the files, for example, the HTML files, or like the custom files, as it says. So I will only see the docs and the PDF files. And I'll show you once we'll complete this one. I'll show you completely, but this has this implication that it will be showing us only those required form. So that is what our label, this one does. So the last thing that we want to do is that these are the two buttons, send and clear, and I want to create these two buttons, and this is very easy to create these buttons. Input type is equal to, and that input type is equal to submit, and let's set up its name is equal to submit. So because we want to, if we want to access that again as a data, for example, or in the other form, and value is something that will be shown. So if I'm writing here send, the value shows the data over there. So now if I just come here and just make it for reset, input type is equal to reset, and this reset means that button's name also should be reset, and it will do what? Clear. I will just use a clear one. I think it's a clear one. So you can use anything at all. So okay, yes, send and clear. I've used these two words, right? So I have to just create this one. So now save this one, and let's see that how our output is coming. So our output is something like this, that you can see that we have got this complete form over here, which is looking very bad, of course. And if you just, make something like this, these are all squishing together and there is no alignment, there is nothing. And what we'll do is that I will just keep uh, this as a part one of form and CSS styles, and I'll just make another video part two, where I will just start giving styles to this one. Thank you very much, and let's meet in the other video where I will be just placing all these styles, and I will be just trying to make it, as I said, I will be trying to make it as good as this one. So we'll be just converting all this into this one. So thank you very much.